are 613 commandments throughout the whole Torah. One of those commandments is that when you find a lost object, it is a mitzvah. It's a commandment to return a lost object to the person that lost it. Now, one may think, why do I have to return it? Finders keepers, losers weepers. You remember that? But yet, the Torah sees it differently. It's not finders keepers. But when someone finds something, it is our responsibility to do whatever we can to return it to its rightful owner. So it's not just a moral and ethical right thing to do, that when you find something that's not yours, to return it to the person, but it's actually a commandment. It's a commandment that we actually take very seriously. In the holy book of the Talmud, there's a whole tractate that is based on the laws of returning lost objects. Indeed, it's a very thick volume of pages upon pages, chapters upon chapters, that goes through the various scenarios of returning lost objects. So we can ask the question, and it's a worthwhile question, that why does someone lose something only for someone to find it? Yet, indeed, if everything happens in this world for a purpose and meaningful, everything happens with divine providence. So why does the divine providence allow someone to lose something, especially something of value, and yet someone gets to find it? Well, we know that God created this world for a purpose and meaningful. This world, earth, wasn't just created by chance, by accident. The world was created because God had a desire to create earth, a place, an abode where the divine presence can rest. So how do we make this earth an abode for the divine presence? How do we make this world a place that God not only feels welcome, but feels at home? This is where God wants to be, in earth. And the way we do it is through observing the laws that God has taught us. The laws of the land, the laws of earth, the laws between man to man, the laws between man to God. Thereby, God created an equilibrium in this world so that we can actually make a difference. So God created healthy people and sick people, rich people, poor people, happy people, sad people, kind people, unkind people. Yes, there's an equilibrium of good and evil. That's what makes this world so unique. Otherwise, if God would have created everyone good on one level, we'll all be robots. There would be no challenges. There would be no temptations. What journey is that? So God created these diverse dichotomy of good and bad, of different extremes, so that we can bring them together. If there wouldn't be poor people, then there would be no one for rich people to support. They wouldn't have the act of charity. If people wouldn't be getting sick, there wouldn't be doctors to cure them, and there wouldn't be a healing process. So there's this whole mechanism that God put into place is specifically to be able to perfect ourselves and perfect the world. And this is why every morning we wake up and we realize, am I on the receiving end? Am I on the giving end? Am I going to have a healthy day today? Or am I, God forbid, going to get sick today? Am I going to cheer someone up today? Or am I going to tear someone down? Am I going to be kind today? Or am I going to be selfish today? And these are all the choices that we make. God gave us free will for each one of us to choose to do right from wrong. So come back to the concept of returning a lost object. That when you find something that's not yours, don't just ignore it, but rather pick it up, look at it. Try to find an identifying object, a way to return it. And then do whatever you can to find its rightful owner and return it. When you do that, you not only have fulfilled a great mitzvah, a great commandment, you are going to lighten up the person's day who lost it. And you would walk away being so thrilled and so proud of yourself. There was a story a few years ago of an Orthodox Jew who bought a desk, a sectional desk, on eBay. He went to the house to pick it up, and there were two parts to it. It was an L-shaped desk. So he took the desk apart, put it in his truck, brought it to his house. As he brought the desk into the room, his office that he was setting up, and he went to screw back in the sectional part of the desk, he looked and he saw a package that was stuck under the sectional area. He takes out the package and he sees $90,000 in cash. He looks at it in an amazement. $90,000 in cash has been stashed away in this desk. Ask yourself a question: what would you do? This individual was a God-fearing Orthodox Jew. He remembered the law of the Torah. When you find a lost object, you must return it to its rightful owner. Even though the dollar bills did not have any identifying name on it, who they belonged to. What he did next was, he called up the woman who he bought the desk from and told her about what he found. She couldn't believe what she heard. She remembers that before her husband passed away, they took the life savings and he hid it in the desk, but she forgot and she didn't remember where it was. And here this gentleman drove to her house and returned this lost object to her. She did not remain silent about this. She called the local newspapers and it went viral. Because how many people do you know would take $90,000 and return every single penny of it so diligently and so respectfully? And this indeed is what the Torah has taught us. The laws between man to man is just as important as the laws between man to God. That when you find something that someone lost, it is incumbent upon you to do whatever you can to return it to its rightful owner. Yesteryears in the villages, they used to have a platform that when someone would find something from someone, they would get up on the platform and they would announce, "I have found an object. Can you identify it? It's yours." Because no one would want to hold on to something that's not theirs. This concept of returning a lost object is not only in something physical, but it's also emotional and spiritual as well. When someone has lost someone, when someone not only lost a thing, when someone is lost emotional, it is our responsibility to go back to them and to lift them up and to find their spirits once again and to bring them back to a good spirit. That's what returning lost objects is all about. And realizing that when someone loses something, it's really not theirs to lose, because God gave it to them and now God took it from them. But then God gave it to you so you can return it to its rightful owner. At the end of the day, we can lose everything we have because it's not really ours. We're just the custodians. God gives it to us. God already decides at the beginning of every year how much we are going to make, what our possessions are going to be. There's nothing we can do that's going to change that. So certainly, if you find something that belongs to someone else, realize it's not yours. It's not going to increase your net worth. You may think it will, and then it goes out in the other direction. The laws are that yes, if there's an identifying way of returning it to the owner, you do whatever you can to return it to them. However, if there's no identifying marker, if there's no way to return something to someone else, after attempting at least 3 different times, then yes, you may keep it. Then the Divine Providence wants you to have it. Otherwise, the Divine Providence would have allowed you to return it. And this is a lesson in life for us to realize and recognize that everything that we see, everything that happens to us, happens for a purpose, happens for a reason. And when you find something, whether it's jewelry or money or any type of an item that you have found, you think to yourself, okay, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to keep it? How far am I going to go to try to return it? And a lot of newspapers, I know the Jewish parochial newspapers have a lost and found section that every weekend people post, I have found XYZ. If this is yours, come and claim it. So yes, we do whatever we can to try to find its rightful owner. But if we can't, then you ask yourself, okay, God, why did you give this to me? What do you want me to do with it? And do you want me to give it to charity? Let me pass it on to someone who is more needy, etc., etc. But then it becomes your prerogative of what to do. So keep your eyes open. Look around for not only lost objects, but lost people, and return them to its rightful owner. And God will be very proud of you, that we should no longer lose anything. We should be able to keep everything that we have, and God will continue on giving you more and more so you can continue on doing greatness with it. God bless you. God loves you.